Hello, this is Grandmaster Gambardella, and I want to talk to you about one of the big problems I see with the UFC and the MMA fighters out there. The MMA and UFC are all the rage right now, and everybody wants to watch them fight, but only a few people really want to be MMA fighters. And here's what's wrong with that kind of scenario. Karate came to the United States after World War II and did not become really popular until Bruce Lee came around in the late 60s and 70s. And that was, before that, only a few die-hard karate enthusiasts practiced the sport, like me. When I started training in 1963 in Alexandria, Louisiana, I first started training. I was only one of about 10 people in the entire city that was training in karate. I had to take it from a local commando in the military at the air base here who was teaching in his backyard. There were no karate schools and there were no karate tournaments. The first tournament I went to was in Shreveport, Louisiana, and that was 2 years after I started training. Now today, in 2010, there's a tournament every weekend within 50 miles of most cities in America. And there's literally a karate school within 10 miles or less of every one in America, especially the large cities. Now here's a strange point and a real quick point I want to make. Almost every one of these 29,000 plus karate schools have a United States champion or a Korean national champion teaching out of the school or running the school. Now, if we were to suppose these were actual national champions, that would mean that only one person a year would be the crowned champion of that country. So it would have taken approximately 29,000 years to get this many teachers who are national champions. Doesn't quite add up, but that's a discussion for another time. I just think it's kind of cute. Look in the phone book and see how many national champions there are. Now back to my point. What really changed karate from a backyard, small-time, few people, mostly adult sport to the second largest participation sport in America, after soccer being first? The answer is, now wait for it, children. Karate became popular with Bruce Lee because he was small, about 140 pounds, that could beat up guys that outweighed him by hundreds of pounds. And this gave courage and power to the little kids in America. And it created the phenomenon of modern karate in America. And the modern karate school, which are 75% children. Karate became a children's sport. And when it did, it lost its combat authenticity and became mostly a game of tag and touch and run. Nothing wrong with that. I am not saying your child should not go to karate school. I believe they should go to a karate school. They will learn, and they will grow mentally and physically, and they will learn valuable lessons that will last them the rest of their lives. But it is not a combat sport anymore. Mixed martial arts is the new karate, and an altogether different type than traditional karate. Karate, like Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, was invented to let smaller, weaker, less athletic men defend themselves against stronger, bigger, more athletic men. And make sure you get this point. Men who didn't know anything but street fighting or brawling. It was not and is not good at beating a bigger, stronger man who knows how to fight. And that is my point. What has changed is that MMA is teaching the bullies, the punks, the mean guys, the great athletes to fight. And that means the guys you might have been able to beat up using basic karate and basic jiu-jitsu now will beat your butt if you try to do karate or basic Gracie Jiu-Jitsu on them. Now all you Gracie lovers and worshippers out there, take a deep breath and just tell me one Gracie of the 200 children fighting in the UFC and winning. Not even in the top 10 are any of the Gracies. Not since the great Royce Gracie have the Gracies done squat. Because when you train a guy who is bigger, stronger, meaner, and more athletic, the same thing that the Gracies know, they will beat your butt 9 out of 10 times. And that is precisely why MMA and Jiu-Jitsu will never be as big as karate in America or the world. It is really taking the school bully and making him the ring bully. When you teach the meanest guy in school how to do Jiu-Jitsu, how to box, and how to wrestle, you simply don't have a chance in a fight against them. And you will have taken away all the confidence and ability the average little guy had at a karate school. The weak, the wormy, the unathletic guys, to beat up a guy that's bigger than them now, that knows the same thing they do, doesn't have a chance. The current MMA and UFC fighters are the guys we all took karate to learn to defend ourselves against and to beat them up. The Kimbo Slices, the Chuck Liddells, the Ken Shamrocks, those are the bullies of the schoolyard. Those are the ones that used to beat us up when we were little, and now they can beat us up when we're older, even if we're black belts in karate and jiu-jitsu. It breaks my heart to see the mean guys learning the stuff that the little guys know and being able to stop them by using the techniques. You know, old karate kicks and strikes just won't work against someone who knows MMA fighting. The biggest problem with mixed martial arts and the UFC is that it will never be as big as karate, because it is training the meanest guy in school to be even meaner and giving the littlest guy in school no hope or reason to train. So I want you to think about this, and I think you'll agree with me. Look at the size and the physiques and the body and the faces and the backgrounds of these fighters. These are not little nerds going to karate school. These are not unathletic guys, you know, going to karate school to learn to beat up, to defend themselves. These are the school bullies. These are the street fighters. Look at Kimbo Slice. What did he do before? He fought in the street with bare knuckles. Now you're teaching him MMA. Just doesn't seem right, does it? The guys we got into the sport to learn to beat up, now we're teaching them the techniques that we would use to beat them up. And I'm going to tell you, if you both know the same techniques and the other guy's bigger, stronger, meaner, nastier, he's going to beat you up. And friends, that's what's wrong with mixed martial arts and the UFC. It's never going to be as big as karate, and it doesn't deserve to be. This is Grandmaster Gambardella. I'll see you next time.